Joining us now is NewsNation special correspondent Ross Coulthart. Good morning. I've been looking forward to talking to you. How are you?
Good morning, Anna. At long last, we have some scientists who are able to demonstrate good science to prove anomalous phenomena is potentially real. That's the significance of what Dr. Jim Segala tells me on this week's Reality Check.
Yes, and Dr. Jim Segala, he's been featured on the hit show Skinwalker Ranch, which a lot of our viewers are familiar with. What are some of the otherworldly reports he's actually been able to verify with that proof and evidence?
Well, a lot of it is it's very clever. A lot of people were reporting phenomena. And one of the great dilemmas is the debunkers always say, where's the evidence? How do you prove this? And so what Jim conceived was a system where he set up a system of sensors called MUPAS, which are essentially looking for all the kind of different things that might happen during anomalous phenomena. Gamma radiation, electromagnetic radiation, gravitometers, changes in gravity. And he measured those with a sensor that the person who was experiencing this phenomena didn't know what it was recording. And they were writing down in a book at exactly the right time when they were experiencing things like UFOs, when they were having weird poltergeist phenomena in their house. And the incredible thing that Jim has discovered, which I think is potentially very scientifically significant, is that he was able to predict with an incredible accuracy of 4.8 sigma, which is a very high degree of accuracy, when these anomalous events were going to occur, based on what the signals were showing in the sensors that he'd set up. So for the first time, you've got a link between what people are saying they're experiencing, ghosts, poltergeist phenomena, even aliens, people reporting experiences with non-human entities. And this is being recorded by them in a diary, in a book. And at the same time, this scientist is picking up this phenomena on the sensor systems that he's created and installed in their homes.
Well, it's just fascinating. It makes the hair on your arms stick up a little bit. Let's take a listen. I want to hear from him. How does Dr. Segala describe how UAPs could leave a magnetic footprint and how he collects data? Let's hear from him.
Have you been anywhere where a craft or some kind of UAP has whizzed by and you've seen a change in a magnetic field or any other of these correlative sensor data sets?
So now, after we've done this it started in, say, 2018, we've done this for quite a bit of time now. And I think at this point, we have over 600 instances where we have something verified out in the environment that we've recorded either video or seen through, cell phones or something like that. And at the same time, recorded something with the equipment that allowed us to correlate those two together. And then on top of that, looking back at the people, having them report that within some period of time afterwards, they would have some type of change to their body that indicated that something energetic went by them.
Do you feel like he's really changing the game here?
It is quite dramatic, Anna. I find the evidence that Jim's gathered, he's a really good, solid scientist. He's exactly what's needed in this area, because everybody always whines, where's the data, where's the empirical evidence? Well, here it is. And what he's saying is that there is a definitive link between reported anomalous phenomena and what he is picking up on his sensor systems. And the interesting thing, Anna, it's not just people like Jim that have been looking at this. After he did his research, the Defense Department conducted a secret study, and they looked at this phenomena very, very seriously indeed. So whatever the government says about UFOs or paranormal phenomena, it's taking it very seriously indeed.
Yeah, and starting to make more headlines, too. Ross Coulthart, thank you so much for joining us waking up early. Appreciate it. You can watch Reality Check with Ross Coulthart exclusively online. Just scan that QR code on your screen or visit NewsNation's website or YouTube page.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.